Hey guys! So today's video is going to be an entire review on the Too Faced Peaches and Cream collection. They have a ton of stuff in this collection. And I asked you guys in my last video if you wanted to see a full in-depth review on everything because I have been trying out all of these products for a few days now. And I pretty much have my mind made up on how I feel about this collection. There are a lot of things to say, so I just want to get started. I did receive the entire collection from Too Faced. The only thing I'm missing is the mattifying primer, which I don't know if they didn't send it to me or if I lost it because I have never seen it in my possession. Like I don't know what happened there. So I don't have that. And they also sent 3 of their lipsticks and then I ended up purchasing one myself. They sent me more nude shades and I really wanted to try out like one of their intense peach colors. So I purchased this one and I have a lot of opinions. So let's just get started. All right, let's start with the palette because this is what I was most excited for when I heard about this collection because honestly, I just haven't been blown away by the color selection in some of the new Too Faced palettes. Like they came out with a white chocolate bar palette and the colors just look so, I don't know, not my favorite. Their recent palettes, their color selection is so weird. I feel like the colors don't go. But when I saw this one, this is called the Just Peachy Mattes palette. And by the way, everything in this collection is infused with peach and sweet fig cream, which I think is delicious. But when I saw this palette, I was like, okay, this is definitely a palette I can get on board with. It just has all the matte eyeshadows I would ever need because even though this one isn't a black, it's almost a black. So I was so stoked for this. And it did not let me down. I really like this palette. I find that they're really easy to blend. They're really easy to build on top of each other. I love the looks I've created with this palette. I'm wearing it on my eyes today. You can get a really deep smoky eye with this or you can get like the most natural look ever. It's the kind of palette that would be perfect to pair with like an all shimmer palette. But even then, I've used this like 3 or 4 times and I didn't need to dip into another palette. Obviously, it's an all matte palette, so you're gonna get an all matte look, but I love it. If you're not into warm peachy tones, I don't see you liking this because the shades pull very warm. You can get a bunch of different looks with this, but they're all gonna be looks that pull pretty warm. So just keep that in mind. I love warm eyeshadows. They're so flattering and I really like this palette. I love the mirror. I feel like this is one of the standout products from the collection. I've never had an issue with Too Faced eyeshadows. They've always worked for me. The chocolate bar palette is one of my favorite palettes of all time. I know my friend Raw Beauty Christy, if you don't follow her on YouTube, she's really, really great. You should totally check her out. I know that she kind of had like an irritation with this palette. I think the peach scent kind of irritated her eyes. She said that they were pretty itchy while she was using this. I haven't had any issues with that, but if you are really sensitive to scents in your eyeshadows, you might not like this. The entire collection smells of peaches and cream. It's crazy. I personally love the scent. I mean, I have my peach candle on. I am obsessed with peach and the collection smells very peachy, but it's different than the sweet peach palette. Like this one smells like artificial, like fake peach. I like it, but it smells like a more fake peach scent. This one, however, the Peaches and Cream collection, the scent is way better on this one. It smells like real peaches, but it does have like that sweet fig creamy vibe to it. Like to me, this does smell like peaches and cream. I don't know. I personally cannot get enough. All right, so let's talk about something I did not love. And that is these things. These things. These are the new melted powders. This one is a melted powder blush, this one is a highlight, and then this one is a bronzer. They all have the same type of formula. These are kind of like cream to powder finishes. Like when you first put your finger in, it's very creamy. It's like definitely like 100% a cream. And then when you go to blend it out on the skin, it does like transform into a powder. It's so weird. And at first I was like, wow, that is so cool. But the more I played around with them, the more I just did not like them. This highlight has so little color payoff when you apply it to the skin. Like I can't even describe this formula. It's just, this highlight is like not even a highlight. It doesn't show up on the skin. I really just don't understand this one. This is probably the worst one out of the 3 of them. It doesn't highlight the face. Not only that, it's just really patchy. I find that to be the issue with this formula. And same goes for the blush. This one was a little bit better. I was able to get a nice application with it, but I just don't reach for blushes like this, and the whole process is just a little bit more time consuming than a regular blush. It's not as patchy as the others, but I just could not get these to work for me at all. So I don't like this. And then I don't love the bronzer. I thought I really was gonna love this one just because swatched it looks so nice. But this looks so patchy on the skin. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, but every time I try to use this, it just doesn't look seamless. It doesn't look smooth. It looks muddy every single time. It just does not work for me. And it sucks because when you blend it out, the color is really beautiful. It has a very, very slight golden sheen to it. It just looks so bronzy and warm and J-Lo-y, but it did not apply that way. Too patchy for me. I have so many bronzers that work way better than this. I do not think this is worth the money at all. All right, moving on to something I really love. I think this is my favorite thing in the entire collection, and that is the Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation. This is so good. It's oil-free, 14-hour wear, oil controlling, and photo-friendly. I don't know about the 14-hour wear thing. I have worn this all day and I haven't noticed it fading really quickly or anything, but I don't know if it'll last like 14 hours, like put to the test. You know, I haven't really tried that. I don't leave my house ever, so. But it does wear really nicely. It's also infused with peach and sweet fig cream, which is kind of cool. I mean, all of this stuff is. And while you're applying this to your skin, you smell the peach. You really get a whiff of this scent when you're applying this foundation. So again, keep that in mind if you are sensitive to scents or if you hate the smell of peach. It's the foundation I'm wearing on my skin right now. It has really great coverage, medium to full. You can build it up so well and it doesn't get cakey. I've done like 2 to 3 layers of this foundation and it looks great. It looks good around my nose and in between my eyebrows. It doesn't get thick or cakey, which is weird considering it's a comfort matte. But honestly, I don't see this as a matte foundation. I would consider this a nice satin finish. It's like the perfect in-between foundation because it's not dewy, but to me, it's not matte. It's like the perfect natural finish. It does photograph really well. I mean, it has a pump. I love squeezy bottles. I have nothing negative to say about this foundation, honestly. All right, back to something that I didn't love. This is the Peach Blur. It's their translucent smoothing finishing powder, and I hate this. Actually, I'm sorry, I don't like to use that word. I don't hate it, I just really don't like this. I just don't see how this would work for anyone. It's a translucent smoothing finishing powder, but it's peach. Like it's a peach powder. And the first time I used this, I applied way too much on my skin. It gave my skin like a peach tint, like all around my face. So the second time I used it, I used a lot less. I just dusted this on the face, but I found it did nothing. I don't get this powder at all. In order for me not to see this, I have to use very little. And then I feel like it doesn't really do its job. It just is the strangest powder. I don't like it. It's a powder that I just don't get. Okay, moving on to something I do get and I really like. This is the Sweetie Pie Radiant Matte Bronzer and I love it. At first I thought I wasn't gonna like this at all because it has these little pink squares in it, and usually like these mosaic type powders I'm just not a huge fan of, but I really like this. I find that this is kind of like a 2-in-1. I mean, it's definitely a bronzer, don't get me wrong, but the tone of this is so nice. It has a very, very slight sheen to it, so it gives your skin a nice, healthy glow, but then it's not too bronzy, it's not too warm either. And today I kind of used it as a bronzer blush kind of thing, because I wanted like a really nude, bronzy blush, and I find that this works for that as well. You could just bring this onto the cheeks and it gives your face a nice bronzy glow without looking like you used bronzer as a blush. Does that make sense? I love it. It's a really nice product. So something that I didn't like, just because I have very, very dry skin, it just didn't work for my skin type. This is the Peach Perfect Mattifying Loose Setting Powder. I love the scent of this. It's the same scent as everything, but because it's a loose powder, it just smells even more. Like it's just, I smell it more. This is a very nice powder. I could just imagine people with oily skin really loving this because it does mattify the skin really well. I wouldn't call this an invisible powder, but I wouldn't call it a very thick and cakey powder either. It just didn't work for me because when I applied it to the skin, under the eyes it looked fine, but around my nose it looked really like crusty, and in between my eyebrows it looked like And it was just the combo of my dry skin and then this on top, it kind of made the foundation look cakey, but I have an extremely dry T-zone as it is, so adding this on top just made matters worse. But it does what it's supposed to do. It's a mattifying powder, and maybe if you have oily skin you will really, really love this. But if you are very dry like me, I would stay far away from these. I mean, I don't know. Everybody's skin is different, but it just didn't work for me personally. Okay, let's talk about these lipsticks. Because I have a few thoughts. First, let's talk about this packaging because it is absolutely gorgeous. I love that you have the color on the cap, so even when these are closed, you know what color you're getting, and you don't have to just remember like based on the name on the bottom. Oh, and even the bottom have like the sticker. Anyway, I really love this packaging. It is beautiful. It feels extremely luxurious. The lipstick has peaches like engraved all over it. So fancy. I love it. I love this packaging 100%. Do I think it looks extremely similar to the Tatcha lipsticks? Yes. This is a Tatcha lipstick. This is much, much heavier. You can tell just by holding it that this is just like pricier, more expensive, but this is a Tatcha lipstick and this is a Too Faced one. It has the same white packaging. It has the same little thingy right here. It says Tatcha across here. This one says Too Faced across here, and then the top is a gold like Tatcha symbol, and this one has this. So the packaging is very, very, very similar. Besides the packaging, I feel like I have a love-hate relationship with these lipsticks. If you know me, if you have been a watcher of my channel, you know that I love matte lips more than anything, and I can usually take any matte lipstick. Like, it has to be bone dry to be drying for me, but some of these are too drying. Some of these are perfect. So like this lipstick I'm wearing right now is called Sunday Funday. It's my favorite one out of all of them. It's so delicious. It's so comfortable for me. And these are called their Peach Kiss Moisture Matte Longwear Lipsticks. Now when you think moisture matte, you think it's gonna be a matte lip that's very, very hydrating, but I don't find that to be the case for all of them. This one is like that, and so is this one in Sex on the Peach. But I went out and purchased this one because I really loved this color. This one is called Everything is Peachy. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is so drying. I can't even apply this to my lips. It looks awful. It's very neon, and sometimes neon lipsticks can pull very drying and they look cracky and weird on the lips, and that is definitely the case with this one. This is not moisturizing. Don't love this shade. I love the color so much, so I'm gonna see if I can make it work with maybe like a lip balm underneath and like something else, I don't know, but it is very, very drying. And I also find that Dollface is a little bit drying as well. Not as bad as this one, but this one is a bit drying. So I don't love those, but see, the one I'm wearing is the one I've been wearing the most, Sunday Funday. It's so comfortable. It's creamy to me. I can rub my lips together, and I didn't wear a lip balm underneath. Like, I really, really love this one. So I'm afraid that throughout the line, you're gonna get some hits and misses. Some lipsticks are gonna be great, and some lips are gonna be just like way too drying. A couple of these I love, and a couple of these I don't. So I don't know how to feel right now. But Sunday Funday, this one's really, really good. I hate to leave this video off on a sour note, but my last product I wanna talk about is the Peach Mist Mattifying Setting Spray. I don't like this at all. I will say, the first time I used it completely wrong. I didn't shake it. You have to shake this setting spray. I know you have to shake most setting sprays, but I have a bunch that I don't shake up and I just use them and it's perfect. But this one, you really, really, really have to shake it up, because if you don't, you will create a hot mess just like I created the first time. I had just finished doing my entire makeup. It looked great, amazing. And then I sprayed this all over my face, and when I looked in the mirror, I was horrified. I had little peachy, like, it was definitely a peach tint, like peachy white dots all over my face. It ruined my eyeshadow. Like, it took off my eyeshadow. It was so weird. All that peachy white stuff was like all over my face, and then it kind of got hard and matte, and then it stayed there and there was no fixing it. The second time I used it, I made sure I used it right. I shook the crap out of it, and then I used it that way, and there wasn't any peachy polka dot problem, but it's matte. It's a mattifying mist. I mean, obviously, what was I expecting? I have very dry skin, but I wanted to test it out because I have a few matte setting sprays I don't hate, but this one made my skin feel really tight. Hey guys, so I just wanted to tell you really quick, I actually wanted to give the Peach Mist one last try before filming this video, so I applied it to my face after I did my entire makeup this day, well, like this video, and I don't know if you can tell, but it's on my right cheek. There's that tiny little white dot on my right cheek. Yeah, that caused it. I even shook it up real good, and it still got me. I got one little dot on my face. It's been driving me crazy the entire time I've been editing this video. But yes, I guess I just don't like this. When I apply a mist at the end of my makeup, I use it for two reasons. I use it to melt down all the powders on my face, to make my highlight look like my skin, and I also use them to prolong my makeup. This one, I'm sure, makes your makeup last longer since it feels so tight and it feels like it's locking it in. but I don't like how my skin looks after I use this. It just looks matte. It doesn't look like my skin is healthy. It just makes my skin look worse. I don't need mattifying. I don't need mattifying at all, but maybe those of you with oily skin will really, really love this. If you have really dry skin, I would say don't even try it. Don't even try it. So yeah, guys, that completes this video. These are my thoughts on the Peaches and Cream collection. I'm pretty sure it's just exclusive to Sephora, so check it out next time you're in Sephora. I would say the two major hits in the collection are these two. I just freaking love these. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Have you tried any of these products out? Leave your thoughts down below. I love hearing your reviews as well. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!